This is Days of Judah, and I'm keeping true on my promise to do this weird little series called 5 Days in 5 Minutes, in which I talk about a topic that I'm passionate about and explore that for 5 minutes. And today is faith, God, and spiritually related things. And specifically, what's coming up for me today that I'm thinking about is how do you know that you're making the right decisions? How are you led in your life? I was thinking about this because I was talking to someone today that was making some really interesting life choices, and I was kind of feeling a little bit like because they were making these choices and they were basing them on something that I felt a little bit shaky and felt a little bit sketchy, but this person was really really sure. So it got me thinking, as far as spirituality and God, and even just in life, how do you know that you're making the right choices? How do you know what to follow and what's leading you? Um, and I do not, once again, claim to have the answers, but I'm asking a lot of questions, and hopefully my questions will stir up some of your questions, and that will get us all thinking, and hopefully with that thought process, we'll, be healthy individuals. But anyway, things that I think about when I'm making life choices, I think is I do a lot of checking in. So my friends are probably sick of it, but I ask a lot of questions. I'm always, touching in with friends and family about the things that I'm thinking about, some of my life choices. I have a very long process, so I ask, like I said, a lot of questions, and I, go to different people about whatever it is that I'm thinking about doing. Um, I take a lot of time to think about it, so I check in with myself. Um, I just, mull over it and think about it and, research it to figure out if this is really something that I want to do. Um, I check in with, what this means for other people. You know that phrase where they say, well, it's not hurting anybody? Well, is the decision that I'm making, will that hurt anybody? Will that affect anyone? Well, it will affect people outside of my circle. It's bound to. Um, so how will it affect the people around me? And then I guess basing off of that, going even further, okay, so it's going to affect the people around me. What's the cost of that? Like when you go to the movies and, hopefully when you go to the movies, you bring some money so that you can, get a ticket and maybe some popcorn, and drink, something like that. So you got to think about what it is that you hope to achieve when you go there so that you're ready. So in decision making, I think that I really need to consider what it is that I'm hoping to achieve or where I'm hoping to get to. And then I have to think about the cost of what that means for me to get there. So there's a lot of, like how much does this cost me physically, emotionally, psychologically, whatever it may be. How long is this going to take me? Is this decision that I'm making, something that's going to be a very long process? Is it very short? Um, and then I think if you are a person that's spiritual, um, then maybe you're thinking about, well, did you pray about it? Did you take some time to slow down and get some confirmation from someone that's bigger than you? And for me, that's God. And so for me, prayer is important. Um, or if you're not necessarily a prayer, do you meditate? Do you slow down enough to take some time to consider what it is that you're doing? So those are some of my thoughts on being led and figuring out my path in the world. But anyway, I am down to 4 minutes and 39 seconds, so I'm going to stop talking um, about this topic. This is 5 days and 5 minutes where I talk about God, art, music, people, and writing, and maybe some other couple things in between. Have a great night, and thank you for listening.